Is it just me, or did it feel like with this episode of Black Clover that a lot of the characters that turned into elves that had that yellow aura around them, it's like, oh, okay, so the characters now became Super Saiyans or have the aura, right? By the way, relax before people kill me. I'm just making an observation that's funny, not taking it serious. Relax. Let's jump into it.
Whether Facebook, Twitter, or the two, make sure to steer clear, cause I'm coming through like...
So the latest episode of Black Clover, I want to say 96, hopefully I'm right, but this episode was a huge game changer for where we're going with this arc. Now, for the longest time, you thought, okay, the Eye of the Midnight Sun, they have X amount of members, where they got like 10 or less, you know what I'm saying? We handling them. Alright, Raya just got his shit rocked by, you know what I'm saying? Mario Leona and Asta, like, we good, we in the clear, we straight. But this is a classic shonen tactic to kind of, I don't want to say prolong, but pretty much that's what it is, an arc, essentially, by, okay, we need more threats. What are we going to do? We've had up until this point the Eye of the Midnight Sun, these select members, a lot of them are getting taken down, a lot of them have been defeated. What do we do? So after Lit finally, or Patri at this particular point, realizes his goal of putting in the stones, basically he revived his people in the bodies of our people. And I noticed as well that there's a couple things, because if you remember correctly, there was something big that was foreshadowed that finally has been realized. Because if I'm not mistaken, Gauche, that's how you pronounce it, right? People say it's not Gauche, it's Gauche. So Gauche and his sister Mari were both essentially turned into elves, and of course a lot of other people as well, Rill, a lot of Luck were turned into elves. But that was one thing that, if I'm not mistaken, was foreshadowed. I think it was when Patri was fighting them in that tunnel. He did not want to attack, I want to say, maybe I'm misremembering, but I know for sure that he whoever it was that was facing them from the elf side did not want to attack Ghost because he had some sort of connection. So it's like, okay, why is it in particular these certain characters did not want, you know what I'm saying? Why are these certain characters basically protected and like, oh, you know, they're being revived? So there's a big question in the air right now as to why is it these particular people? Is it because they're connected to the elves of the past? Why is it these? Because not everybody was turned into elves. Obviously, we see the orphanage and they're fine. It's only select people. But again, in particular, Ghost and his sister, it's like, okay, so are they themselves reincarnations of the elves of the past? And that's why now it's just like a consciousness swap that they become these elves, and obviously their ears grew longer, which is like whatever. But it definitely brings up a couple different questions as to like why these particular people. And I ain't gonna lie, Real is a real sick motherfucker, because he's basically torturing some of the people from the Eye of the Midnight Sun's cronies or whatever. But from the Eye of the Midnight Sun, he's torturing them until this whole, hey, the magic turns him into an elf. And it's going to be interesting to see from here on out, because you got to think the power scaling now has to be adjusted correctly, because a lot of these people, they're strong as hell, but if they're going to go up against their comrades, and it's shown in the past like, yo, this guy's, for example, we're real, he's a captain, he should give a lot of trouble. And if they're powered up on top of that, they're not just like, oh, you know, the same level of strength or whatever. Now they're powered up. Now they have a big boost. So they should really be a big problem to these people. On top of that, some people probably need to team up to beat these people, because like, yo, they were strong before, they have a power boost now, they're crazy strong. This is going to be a problem. Then we have Marks and Old Man Owen, I believe is his name, against Yami. They show up and it's like, yeah, things should look bleak for Julius at this point. If they were coming to try and help heal him or whatever, there's no way they could do anything at this particular point, because now they've, of course, been infected as well, or possessed, whatever the heck you want to call it, consciousness swapped with these elves. And you could tell, yo, I ain't gonna lie, it's like, this episode wasn't the greatest by far. It was like, whatever, it's just transitioning into the beginning of the elves. It was like, whatever, art and animation. Art was kind of cool. Animation, very, very stiff. A lot of still shots. So, again, I ain't praising this like, whoa, like some of the previous episodes, especially like Lit or Patri versus Julius. Those were incredible, impeccable episodes. This episode is just like, it's one of those passerbys. It's not filler by any means. It's a very pivotal point to the plot of like, okay, this is the next big threat. But when Yami went up against him, it was like, oh, it could have looked a little better. I mean, at the end of the day, it shows that, like, I don't know, they're really freaking strong. This whole elf thing is, like, powering them up dramatically. Because let's be honest, Yami should not have a problem against Marks, Old Man Owen, or them combined, period. Like, I don't see why he should have any struggle against them. It's Yami, okay? Like, Julius would probably appoint him as the next Wizard King if he could. So, when I was like, I don't believe you. You need more people. But I guess it's also to the credit of, yo, these elves are really freaking strong because they're powering up these bodies to the point of, again, they're trying to double team Yami, and it's kind of working. I think even, you know, if they were in their normal bodies, even combined, Yami would be able to take them out pretty easy. And you see that Yami's like, damn, if I get hit once by either of them, it's curtains for me. So I was like, I don't really buy it, but hey, Yami's having some action. Why the hell not? And I mean, at the end of the day, Yami kind of makes quick work of them, essentially. I don't want to say quick work, whatever. But then we got Charlotte showing up, and she's been infected as well. It's like, it is convenient. Like, it's like, hey, most of the people that we know, the strongest ones are the one. But then again, it could be the reason why these people are the strongest ones. Charlotte, Ghosh, a lot of these people that were turned into elves, maybe they were the strongest because they are reincarnations of very strong elves. So there's a lot of theories you could play with as to why is it the strongest, why is it most of the people we know that were turned, why isn't it like a country bumpkin that we don't know of that gets turned into an elf? It's like everybody that we mainly know. You could argue, hey, it's just like not the best writing in that aspect, or it could be that, again, something connects them to these strong elves from the past that made them become these strong people. But you can also see that it's pushing the narrative regarding Yami and Charlotte's relationship, because now he has to face a woman that he's kind of, you know, digging in a way. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes as well. And you got to think about it. If these people are powered up, Charlotte was already a problem. She was not no joke. Yami, on top of that, don't really want to hurt her. If anything, he probably wants to lay her down and have a little black bull time. But, you know what I'm saying? He don't want to hurt her, so it's going to be a challenging fight nonetheless, regardless of how OP Yami is. And I love, I ain't gonna lie, real quick, backtracking to him fighting Marks and Old Man Owen. When they talked about Julius, that's when he was like, yo, stop playing with me, bro. I mean, he had to roll Julius in a black bowl and get him out of there, but still, it showed that Yami ain't playing around right now, baby. So it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, he got to hold back because he don't want to kill Charlotte. That's still her body, but how the hell are you going to handle this? She's too OP. And the only other thing really to say about this episode, like I said in the beginning of this one, was like, every time I saw the yellow aura around them, it just straight looked like Studio Period does not know how to animate properly the Super Saiyan aura that's around them, or they were trying to make it a little different from, but it looked straight up like, hey, they're Super Saiyan elves now. That's what's up. I think that's what we're going to title this one. Super Saiyan Elves in Black Clover. Let's go. Because aside from that, it's like, okay, Luck is also, which Luck seems like that's a scary bad guy, okay? Because Luck as a good guy is like, hey, you want to fight to the death? Hey, I want to, you know what I'm saying? You want to let me try to kill you? You try to kill me? So imagine taking somebody like that, that's a good guy, that actually is fighting for the right side, and making him evil, turning him into one of these creep-ass elves. Like, that's going to be a scary sight to see. So this episode, it wasn't too much, to be honest with you. It wasn't the greatest at all. It was mid. It was setting things up. It was basically using a classic shonen trope of like, we need more bad guys because we ran out of bad guys, so let's turn the good guys into bad guys. And it's like, it's not the worst thing in the world. Black Clover does a lot of that. It takes a trope and kind of twists it and turns it to its own motif, but I wasn't all that impressed, especially coming off the heels of episodes like Julius's death versus Patri and a lot of things that we had prior to this episode. It's like, it was cool, it was alright. Super Saiyan Elves, woohoo! Kind of curious what you guys think about this episode though. How did you feel about the people in particular that were turned into elves? Do you think that it's just like sloppy or lazy, convenient writing, that it's like everyone that we know, the strongest ones, are the ones that turned into elves? Or is there a bigger purpose and a grander reason? Maybe it's just these are the people that were reincarnated from elves, so it makes sense for them to be stronger because the elves were strong. Like, I don't know, it just seems a little messy. Like, why didn't, again, we have just like, what is it, Sister Teresa? Like, why didn't we have one of these motherfuckers become an elf? Why is it only the people, I mean, I guess Mari, if you think about it, Ghosh's sister, is like, that's a little girl, but again, what is their connection to the elves, and why was it foreshadowed so long ago, them in particular? Is it because Ghosh has maybe like some secret hidden powers, or is he of secret nobility from the elves? A lot of questions. And we got Raya back in the fight. How do you think that's gonna go now that Raya's powered up? I'm excited just because it's like, yes, we get to get one more round with Mereoleona. I love Mereoleona, especially now that she has an even stronger opponent. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's going to be crazy because they got to team up against him. Like, Raya was already giving some work. Now that he's powered up with this stone that was put in, that now he has more elf power, he's probably back to closer to how strong he was maybe as an elf, or just he's boosted up in general. So we're going to have an even grander, bigger struggle of a fight. As a setup, it was cool, but that's basically what this episode was, set up and a plot reveal in a kind of okay-ish way, but it was mid to me. Your overall thoughts and expectations for where this is going to go, Yami versus Charlotte. How is he gonna pull this off? Black Clover anime, baby. Let's go. But that's all I have for this one, though. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule. Anime and manga for life, boy. Have an awesome day. Peace in.
Enjoy the next ride, but I was the best ride. But I hope you know that